One, and it's recording. Why does it keep going down? There we go. Nope. A little bit higher. Okay, I think that should be good right in there. So yeah, go ahead and start.
Okay, back to basics. So we got, this is within 2 hours of getting to basic training on Tank Hill with 4th Platoon, Charlie Company, 1st Battalion, 1st Brigade. Didn't know that at the time when we got there. All I knew was the guy in front of me had his finger ripped off, and it appeared to me that the DIs couldn't care what was happening to somebody. You were just supposed to go on. I did not realize, wasn't told until about 4 or 5 weeks later, when we got to where we felt like we could approach a DI and not be killed, that they told us, Sergeant Sebo, which was our DI for our platoon, told us that the guy, well, they did not see that he had ripped his finger off. When they rolled him over, they got medics or whoever there, I don't know, and he was in the hospital and recuperating, and probably, they didn't say if he's going to get out of the Army or not, but he probably was. But anyway, had no idea that. The only thing vivid in my mind was his finger ripping off and the DIs yelling at him to get up. And my thought of, oh my God, I'm going to die. They're going to kill me. I know I'm not going to be able to do this stuff. And it was a horrible. So we were in there, so we were given paperwork. I don't know what kind of paperwork they gave us all the time, but there was like hours of junk. And went over everything about what to do and not to do, and that they owned the streets, and they didn't want us there, and they didn't like us, and you know, yada yada yada. And they had a lot of adjectives that they spiced things up with every other word. And so they told us, they called us out and told us what barracks, what building to go to, what barracks to go to. And then we had to run over there. We couldn't walk. They never wanted to see us walking. And your boots weren't bloused at that time. Or your pants weren't bloused. I just tucked into your boots because you were not worthy of having them tucked in or whatever, I don't know. So, you know, you were sitting there, I don't remember if you were sitting or standing there, and they called your name and you took off running to some building that you didn't know where it was, but you just followed the guy in front of you. And you exited the door and started running, trying to run, holding that big old heavy duffel bag. You were very motivated, at least I was. You saw the guy in front of you going, and you hope he went in the right building because you followed him. And you ran up those steps, went inside, and stood in line. And when we got in line, there were about 5 or 7 of us that day in this particular platoon. There were 4 platoons. And so we went and you stood in line. And I don't know where the duffel bag was, but I remember standing in that line at attention, scared to death. I mean, scared to death. There's this little bitty, there's a short DI, thin DI. Had his, you know, his Smokey the Bear hat pulled down where you couldn't see his eyes unless he lifted them up to look at you. And he looked right through you. So he started down the line yelling at the people. I don't know where I was, 3rd, 4th, where I was, but I wasn't 1st or 2nd. And so he's just looking at you and yelling at you. So he came to me, and when I ran, or sometime my dog tags had come out from being tucked in my shirt, so they were hanging down right here. I wasn't looking at them. I had no idea what was going on. I was just in La La Land, and so he takes my DIs, my dog tags, and holds it up in front of my face and says, "Are these yours?" You know, and so I had learned to scream the answers by the time they got to me, because he was getting on to him about not being loud enough, or he couldn't hear him, or whatever he was. So I screamed out, "Yes, Josiah!" So he just rips them off, and then he hands them to me and says something to the equivalent of, "I don't want to see those again." So I don't know what I did with them, put them in my pocket or something, I don't know. But then he's looking me up and down, And he's right in my face. He's about that far away from my face, right in my face. I think I had a baseball hat on, army baseball hat, and his drill sergeant's hat, Smokey the Bear hat, was touching. I remember touching that. You know, he's just in your personal space, right there in your face, screaming, and he said, screams, "I don't allow snakes in my army." And so I'm sitting there thinking, okay, why are you screaming at me? And he keeps doing it. Then he steps back and he looks down. And I just said yes. I screamed yes, sir, each time he said that. But I didn't know. Had no clue what he was doing. I thought he was crazy. And so he steps back and looks down, and I look down, and my shoelaces were exposed. You're supposed to have them tucked in. So, and then he screams, I don't allow snakes in my army. And so I mean, that was the instruction. So I bent down rather rapidly and tucked them back in. And in that room in the CQ, there was another room name for that, but they had given us. You had gotten a meal card. I don't know where I had it. It might be in here. I'd gotten a meal card. Everybody got a meal card with your name, your rank, yada 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 on it. And when you went through the line, there was some little guy writing down your name because they got paid. Not they. The Army gave the rations to. I guess I don't know. Anyway, they took your name down as you went through the mess hall line. And so they told us, don't you ever lose this mess hall card. It's just a little card, paper card, cardboard, with your name on it, some stuff. Because if you do, you would have to low crawl to China. And low crawl is you lay on the ground and you move your arms like that. You don't, no part of your body gets off the ground. It's like you're low crawling up to the enemy. And then you pull your legs up and you low crawl that way for so many hours until they got, until they got tired. And you would, I've forgotten what else it was. Do push-ups until you pushed Fort Jackson to the Pacific, which we were on the Atlantic, so that was going to be a long time, and various other things. Basically, they were going to kill you slowly. And so, yeah, okay. So everybody ran. You put it in your pocket, and you ran to things. So I'm standing there. So he does his little thing, goes down at the end. Then he comes back, and he says, "Does everybody?" He pulls out, or has in his hand out. He holds up a meal card. So he says something to the effect, "Does everybody have their meal card?" Everybody says yes. Of course, we haven't looked at it. We have no clue. We put it in our pocket, which I'm sure they told us exactly where to put it, because they told you exactly where to go. Everything. They told you, what to do. And so then he started at the first guy. Now, the meal card that he's holding has the person's name on it. But we weren't thinking about that. He was just messing with us. Very effective at it. So he goes to the first guy and makes him produce the meal card. Now, he's been down the line, and when he looked at us, he read all our name tags. So he knew whose meal card it was. One, it was written on it. Two, he knew who the person was because we had our name tags sewn on our uniforms. So he could have said, go to that one person and got on them, but no, he had to mess with each one. So he went down the line and he came to me, and you can't look, you're just looking straight ahead. God forbid you look to see what's going on next to you, and at that point in time. And so, I'm just trembling in my boots visualizing that guy that lost his finger. Oh my God, I'm gonna die. And so he gets to me and asks me, is this your meal card? Of course, I can't read it. He's holding it while I can't read it. And I said, oh, Josiah. And he says, let me see your meal card. I reach in my pocket and oh my goodness. my mail card is not there. Oh my goodness. I thought I was gonna die. So, you know, you can't search around for it. You can only reach into one place it's supposed to be. And it wasn't there. And so he screams at me again, where is it? And I said, I don't know, Drill Sergeant. He said, is this it? So he holds it up where I can read it. Of course, he's already read it. Of course, I'm not thinking about that at the time. I'm just lost. And he says, you know what this means? Or something to that effect, but much more effectively. And so then he takes me outside and tells me to low crawl on the asphalt out there. But it's the asphalt, it's not really nice asphalt. It's the asphalt that's got the gravel in it that it's not really smooth. It's gravelly asphalt. So he said, you know, you're gonna do this until I get tired. I had no idea where it was. I had no idea how long they left me there. I do know this, that I was less one uniform after that day, because that uniform was ripped. It was all ripped up from low crawling on those on that gravel, because I was not. I don't know if he left me out there. He had to leave me out there over 30 minutes. I'm sure that the DIs were all laughing at me, and everybody was, well, I know none of the trainees were laughing because they were just running, and everybody else was laughing at me. I didn't care. I was just scared to death. So I had one less uniform because I ripped out my shreds. Man, that was a bad day. So most of the days were okay. Some